Apurva?
Yeah.
Okay. So so first of all, there will be two steps in this case, not like web crawler. There will be crawler config and as well as the scraper config. As you can see over here, this is the database that we are saving, crawler config and scraper config. So here, just like web crawler, we are having like step by step. Okay. So I'll talk about this crawler config. I'll just copy from here. So mainly we are there are three constraints that we are mainly looking into it. Email lookup, that this is the main so like this is a constrained one, which it will be consistent throughout the crawler is running, like uh, n number of times, it doesn't matter, but this is a constraint that we are doing. Okay, so email lookup, in that there is a keyword in the sense, so there is a keyword meaning here is just what the file is referring to. For this case, for example, I'll just go ahead and open one of the file. If you see this is a production email. This is a digital analytics at the rate of hp.com, which we are using as a general uh, Outlook email, like Outlook mail. Okay, so this is the keyword. So if you check for this file over here, for example, here, see SPRZEDAZ HP. So what we are referring to is that, like, we are using regex in this case. So dot star refers to, everybody knows this. So anything after that, it doesn't matter what it is. So this keyword should be there. So in our case, this is a file that we are referring to. Okay, so this is a file. Okay, so like I'll explain why we are, I mean, like every time how we can able to get this, because this is the date that is also there, that is also constraint that we are looking into it. While going further into this KT, I'll just explain you guys. Okay, so next thing is that subject. Okay, in this email lookup, if you see the subject over here, you can able to see this x-com. Okay, x-com. So that is what the constraint over here, that we are looking into it. It doesn't matter, but starting with xcom, ending with anything else, it doesn't matter. Okay, later on. After that, the subject is submitted by. So whoever has been submitted, see if you can see from where it is coming from. Someone, I don't know, it is very difficult to pronounce, but yeah, at the rate, whatever before, and at the rate x-com.pl. If you see over here, anything else in front, it doesn't matter whoever it is, because we are generalizing the email who is going to come, because we don't know when those guys will be changing. So that's why we generalize this and then using as at the rate x-com.pl. Okay, so this is a mailbox that we are looking into it. We can just get any email, any Outlook, it doesn't matter. But for now, we are using digital analytics at the rate of hp.com. Then there is an email storage. So type S3, S3 bucket where it has to be stored. So from where it is downloaded, where it has to be stored. So it will download in the same directory where the file is running, then it will automatically delete it. That is how the code has been written in this case. So this is the bucket, S3 bucket, and this is the root path where we have to store. So here I'll explain this hash and hash. It's because like we have to store in job ID, where you can see this here. This is a job ID and the email ID. You will able to get an email ID whenever you are processing that email. So this is the email ID. Okay. So working directory inbox for now. So it can be any directory in this case. So this is how the what like crawler config works. I'll explain with the code right now, so you can able to see.
Can you go to that part again, where you
Which one?
yeah, where steps were written? The
Subscribe. Yeah.
so so what will it check first? Will it first check subject or submitted by or keyword?
Uh, it will check first the sub. I mean, like it eventually it should check for three constraints we have to use, and three constraint has to be satisfied. I mean, like we have a condition over there, so that we can just if this all or three constraints are true, then we are going to process that email, or else we won't.
Okay, so you mean and condition is there for
Ah,
all.
yes, and condition. True,
Another
true.
okay, okay. And another thing is that you are not logging in or doing any authentication. The mail needs to be logged in. The account needs to be logged in and
Yes,
on the
yes,
Outlook,
that
and
is
then on.
one. Yeah, that is one constraint. Before that, I have to mention it. It's that we have to log into this account at least, and then give the permissions inside that. I'll explain to you right away. I guess I think I can
So,
do that.
so mean you mean that Outlook should be in your system and it should be as an
It
app,
should be. It
as
should
an
be as an app application.
okay,
Yes.
okay,
So
got
if
it.
you see this, there is a trust center inside. I'll just show you. In the Outlook, we are just going to the trust center, and trust center in that programmatic access. So never means like this is basically it is not recommended, but we are allowing it from the admin point of view. It's just recommended here, but so we are just allowing this application to do by the program. That's all
So you
which
are
are good.
allowing any bot to run
Any,
some
yeah,
script,
any bot to, yeah.
some script on it. Yeah.
Yes.
Okay.
So yeah, so I'll go to the, I mean, like I forgot to mention one more thing over here, is that the last email index. So for example here, if you see 2020 03 23, this just ran. Okay, it's just ran, but lost email index, I mean, like whenever the email that we processed, so sorry, yeah, see, like when is the email received that we have got. If you see here, no, I'm sorry about that. here, if you see this date, three 2022, right? If you check in our case, for example, here, this is the last index. Before that, we have ran the crawler actually. Okay, so if I change this to whenever the email came up, for example, for this case, see 311. So just before this, if I do it like 10, for example, 0310, then the crawler will pick this up, this email. But if all the constraints has been satisfied, then only this file will be picked up. Okay, this is the last index. So after this, if I ran the crawler also, it won't work because it's already the updated one. So it won't work after. So whenever I ran this will check before running the crawler actually. I'll show you that.
So,
So
you mean Newton is that whenever a crawler run, it checks what is the last index,
last index.
and if the value that it finds there and on the email, if
Yes.
both are different, then it will go and download the file and do all the process. Otherwise, it will just skip that thing.
Yes, it will just skip that mail actually.
Yeah, that.
That mail or crawler only. Okay.
Yeah.
So let's go to the code. So this is the main function, inbox crawler.py. So I'm just going through that main function. As you can see, this is a source crawler, and there is an empty job ID. And also you guys can check this out later. And yeah, so every job, if you see here, just get job schedule run. If you see this, then you will know it is just getting the information from the DB. Okay, select email, get job, and then if the latest update from that, so latest last in email index is already finished, then it won't go inside only. So you won't find here any jobs. So we are just going through the jobs here and then querying all those config with the config. You will, I mean, like, you will get to know when you go through this email, this code actually. So here we are running this, and then yeah, this is the main get Outlook mail. This is the Outlook mail that it is going to check. Okay, the email lookup getting from the config file, config that we passed, and the last email index. Okay,
And here
so this,
matching will happen with the DB.
yes, I'll show you where the matching is happening. But here the messages will be sorted by the descending order, the new first and then old next. So we are going to go through each and every message over here. From there, we are just finding the parsing over here so that we will know where. So this is one more condition where we are using it. Mail details, not this, sorry. Yeah, this one. So, so this will give a list actually. If you see this RS gives a list. We are saving that list, okay, each and every time. But we are returning the true to. This is the conditions where we are trying to do. This gives us three constraints. So email, mail lookup, and mail details, where we have to look up those mails from our end, like where we are configuring that crawler config. Then the email, mail details, mail, from the mail we are just checking those data. subject and submitted by you, as you can see here, submitted by as well as the keyword. So these three constraints will be there, and three what do you say, uh, three list we'll get true, true, true. If those three gets true over here, then only we'll go inside. Got it? Then we are going to we are going to process the email from here. Let me check. If you see here, there is a new mail. This will be getting inside because we are just querying that to a DB as well over here. Last email index with that. So, and then we are pushing that to S3 bucket. So this will end from crawler point of view. So if this three gets, I mean like this three gets true, the constraints that we are passed is true, gets true, then obviously this will go inside, the condition will go inside, and then run all those processing mail, new mail, and then gets updated and also get pushed to S3 bucket. Okay, got it right, everyone? I mean like I'm just talking.
Yeah,
Got it.
got
Okay.
internal details we need to go through the code.
Yeah, internal details I think you guys can go through from here. Okay, so we'll push the S3 to S3 bucket. There we have a lambda. Okay, there it is going to pick up whatever the file that you are passing. Okay, whatever the file that you passed in, then the scrapper config will take over from there. So I'll explain that from with an example over here. I think you guys already know from the web crawler. Let me share. So these are the steps it is going to take care, but we have lambda to take care of that. Whenever the new mail comes up, then it is going to pick that up. Okay, so
Newton, you mean that whenever the file that you downloaded from here got pushed to S3
push to
bucket,
S3 bucket
bucket,
and then
the
deleted from here, deleted from the
okay.
local,
Then that lambda will take up those
then
tasks,
that,
those steps,
yes,
and it will run those. Okay.
yeah, it will run those steps, but I mean like obviously we have to uh, loop through it actually.
Ah,
Yeah,
so the
you,
code is in lambda, right?
code is in lambda. Yeah,
Okay.
code is in lambda. So this is the code. Okay, this is the scrapper source, which it is going to take care of all those where you these steps. Okay, yeah,
Yeah.
I
So
think you have
in
to go through this all those things
Mhm.
actually, but let me explain one through so that anyways you can guys are
In web crawlers we do not use lambda actually.
yeah, they won't, but I'll just explain you. This code is already there in lambda. It is just picking up here. You can just see this is the this will be removed when it has been unzipped. We are just zipping that file and then unzipping that file and then removing that zipped file actually, gzip. Okay,
Yeah.
so this is the steps that is going through, and the config, you guys know this. We are going to go through the each and every steps. Whenever the step execute false, we'll just give an error with the trace back. Okay, so we'll just go through one. Okay, I'm just the step action is where this is the function actually, and the step action. So this is a step ID. We can just use whatever the variable that, I mean like the the step that you want to use here, but I'm just using this. and the value over here is this. This will be stored in this. From there, there is a step file get downloaded. Okay, from where it is. So if you see the function over here, it will just picked up the 0th one. Let me show you. You can see here the 0th path of that. So whenever that gets downloaded and pushed to S3 bucket, then S3 bucket will get to Lambda. Then that is the only file will be there in that. So then it will pick that up from that point of view. Then this will process. Okay, then this will process. Then you will know loading file will happen, and this just I mean, like getting the date of that particular when the process is running, which year and which month and which date. Okay, then the data frame load download function will be called next step, and then which file details, or basically this we have to know which file is that basically. So when you check this out, you will see this is an XLSX. Then you have to go with that process, whatever the file that it has, because we are just zipping the file, whatever that file is. It doesn't matter what the file is.
Question, Newton. Whatever
Yes.
the processes we are doing here in Scrapper, that
Yes.
we are implementing in S3 bucket only, right? Or it's in a mail?
uh, it is done by the Lambda only. It will just pick up from the S3 bucket.
S3 bucket only, right?
Yes.
And it will delete the file also in S3
Yes,
bucket.
if you see here, there is a removing file.
Mm-hmm.
We have to use that. We have to
And
use this.
where we are going to store this file from S3 bucket?
From S3 bucket, you will know while processing of this scrapper. If you see at the end, we are just pushing that to another S3 bucket where we want to get.
And why these two processes we have implemented, that is Scrapper separately and Crawler separately?
It's because like how we can able to get the email. I mean, like, so
The
how
email
will it
needs to
work? Like,
be local. Yeah, right.
needs to be local, right?
Yeah, and you can.
Locally it should do it. So
Yeah,
we see, like, one should be local, one should be in cloud. So we are using two, locally one and the cloud one. So two total, you can see here. So I'll go through the steps again. So you guys can see already figured it out. This has to remove this file has to be removed. Then just I mean, like adding a new column inside this, you will know already when it has to be ingested. And this is all just adding a columns over here, and this is just saving that where whatever the value that we are passing over here, and then we are just pushing based on the subpath too. If you see here, job ID will be there. I'll show you one example over here. Just subpath, job ID, and this step. Okay, so for example, here is the job ID BD435. I already opened that S3 bucket. Okay, so where is that? Not here. Yeah, here. Job ID. Okay, what is the job ID that we got here? BD435. BD435. Okay, and there is a year and month. If you see here, just an example I'm just sharing. If you see this here, year, month, and date, this is the path where it has to go. Year, month, and date. This is a file where it has been stored. Okay, so this is the final step where is this? This is a final step. Sorry. Yeah. This is the final step where you have to push to S3 bucket where we can use it for further use. And then just for safety, I'm just removing at the end of this step. If there is any file in it. That's how the total email crawler works. Any questions?
Yeah, one more question in Newton. You said last time you faced the file duplicacy, right? Why that is happen?
Yeah, file duplication is because see, I'll show you why it is because that. So we are building this. Okay, we are building this from the. I'll show you where this is coming from. Okay, you can see here. This is the S3 bucket that we have used over there, and then this is the path where we are checking. Okay, this is a job ID. Okay, this is a job ID, and browsing we can see the list. You can see there is three files in it, say with the same partition. Okay, so these are the files that is coming from our email crawler. Okay, these are the files, but the historical file that we don't have it. The historical file we are getting from somebody has done manual. So this has been done manually and given to me separately. So where they should have mentioned where which date has been this basically if the date is here thinking with date what we are trying to do, then obviously it is a duplicate. So I have to remove from here that date which has been came for us, or else I have to remove from this file that we are passing through or
Mhm.
processing this happening, right?
Mm,
This is a pipeline is happening over here.
mm,
Just we have to delete this,
mm.
then it will work.
And the scheduling part, how this is being scheduled,
Yeah,
means
that I didn't
scrapper and
mention,
crawler
right?
at the same time or the different time is
Okay,
crawler
yes.
and scrapper is.
So I already mentioned this before. Whenever the file has been pushed to S3 bucket, the Lambda will be taking care from
Mm,
there. Okay, whatever it is, it doesn't matter how many files, but at a time, once one file will be pushed to
mm. Yes, bucket.
that particular this given path. Okay,
Mm,
so we are running this every day, every weekdays,
mm,
and this is the schedule that we have kept, and the process that we are running from the backend, like the application, we are just running. If you see here, repeat every hour of duration in one day, like every day, every hour, it will be running, except weekends.
How much
And
time it takes?
sorry, I
how
didn't
How
much
get
much
it.
time it
time
takes?
to complete the process?
Depending on the application, depending on the file, how much the file is.
5-10 minutes maximum.
Yeah, 5-10 minutes max. Mostly for me, one of the crawler took like maybe around 1 hour. I'm not sure how that happened, but eventually the successfully it has been pushed to pipeline and also where the requirement is. So every hour we are running over here this code, and it will just check for each and every last index and get an update from each and every crawler, and you will see here the scrapper and crawler status. completed, and those applications log also we can able to see. These are all the source, there's a crawler, and the log details. You can see if there is any error over here. You can see, I'll show you. See? There is an error here. There's a there's a source crawler error. There will be a scrapper error too. I just have to check that out. Maybe I'll just pass and you can see scrapper also got error. You will get to know that whenever there is an error coming up, you will know here. So you can just go through and get the, I mean, like debug that from that.
Most of the time errors are related to what means
It is based on the file, and also what I mean, like the scrapper, if there is the it is not picking up properly, or the sheet that you didn't mention, or I don't know, can be anything. You just have to debug it from there, because it's just processing only, it's not completed, but still process. I have just built few of the functions to inside that. So yeah.
I guess means there is no credential of error like us
No.
for session.
They are
No,
not.
you don't
they
have
are
to.
not.
They are not using session.
No, no, no.
No,
They are
no, we are-
not logging in or doing something, right?
Doing
Their
something directly
account
locally.
is
They are
So
every
that's
time
why,
it is logged only.
yeah.
yeah, that's why we have to use two of the what do you say,
Mhm.
steps to go through the crawler. Yeah.
The number of steps is quite small. It's like 10, 12.
Yeah, there are like 20 or 10. Yeah, this is very less actually. Yeah, only
And
the logic that we have to build over here, not
yeah.
the like steps and all this.
And one more thing. Every time
Just
the
a second.
logic for this, yeah,
uh, Charging. Okay.
yeah. So every
Yeah.
time the logic for scrapper is changing, or it is relatable.
uh it is relatable actually. If you see here, this loading part is same,
Hmm.
and the variable set path will be also same, and the get date is also same. From here it will change every time, because anyways people required when it has been ingested, right?
Hmm.
People wants to know, then obviously we have to use this. When is the date?
So it will change only if the date format is different.
No,
Or
we can change whatever it is. Like here, if you change to MYD, it works whatever that you have.
No, you said now from 21st, it can be changed. Okay.
Sorry?
So from 21st steps in here from data frame load.
Yeah, here, right?
Yeah.
You're talking.
Yeah.
Yeah.
From here to end, right?
Yes, here to end it can change. It will
So
have to change. It has to change.
mhm. So
file
every time where you need to store that file, the S3 bucket is changing, or it is the same every time.
I'm sorry, what?
You're taking the file from some S3 bucket, one S3 bucket,
Yeah. See, like
and
based on
pushing
the,
that to some other S3 bucket.
yes,
So
there
that
is the some other S3 bucket.
yes, that some other S3 bucket is changing every time, or it is the same.
No, depending on our or else our or business logic here. See, I wanted to have in this scenario. So some people wants to have separately. For example, if there is having two sheets in it, you have to create a one sheet for one folder, and then store all those things in that folder, and then save, if you have another sheet, you have to do the same. So it works like that. Like if they want, the business wants like that, I mean like separately in that sheet, it's depending on you how you want to take care, handle it actually.
So
Because see, like for example, if I want to,
just a,
if I want to have, yeah, sure.
we have less than a minute. I need to restart.
Sorry,
We have less than a minute. I need to restart the meeting.
I think I'm done. Yeah, I'm done with this. You can. No, it's totally finished right now. 40 minutes is too much for this. Yeah.
Are you sure we are done?
No, this is fine. It's totally finished, right?